Hello everybody, this is Sam Toopy, the developer of Survive the Wild. First, me and all staff members would like to thank every one of you for taking the time to listen to this demonstration of upcoming features in the game. Just a couple of things we wanted to mention real quick. First, I wanted to apologize for the most minor of audio clipping for some of the computer audio in this demonstration. I did not mean for that to happen. I noticed after recording the most minor errors in the volume level. It's not much, but I still wanted to apologize for it. Secondly, I wanted to note really quickly that all music you will hear aside from the intro and outro was not added post-production. And finally, I wanted to note that you should probably stick with us through this entire thing, as we have saved the best items for last. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. We hope that the next 40 minutes of audio gives you all something to look forward to. We hope that you enjoy. First, let's just launch Survive the Wild as if it was for the first time with no configured settings.
Survive the Wild 0.99.5. Please select your language. English default. Italiano. Espanol. Italiano. English default.
You can see you can select your language now. There's an entire first launch screen, so I'm going to select my language and press enter.
Welcome to Survive the Wild.
There's a little intro sound, which you can skip if you want.
License agreement. Please agree to the following license agreement. Read only edit multi-line. Terms used.
And you can do that when you get the update.
Game rules. Please read the following rules document. Read only edit multi-line. Wait up. You're probably just about to skip this and click the agree button while we verify agree button.
Yeah, I actually am because I'm recording a demo. Look at that.
Thank you for choosing to play Survive the Wild. We hope you have fun. Press enter to skip any of these messages and move on to the next.
And then you get these like little dialogues here, which we can update on the server. So whenever something new happens for new players of the game, we can put any info we need here.
If this is your first time playing, you'll want to click agree. Please be aware that this game is very configurable, so we recommend checking out the
read these when you get the update.
We hope you enjoy your stay here. Do not hesitate to ask questions on the game's
The logo is going to play.
Main menu, please select an option.
And we'll get to the main menu just like that. So as you can see, we finally, after all this time, have a first launch screen. Couple things to note here. We started using the less intrusive menu sounds by default. And also,
options dialog. Play load. Enable confirmation to exit checkbox. Check Alt plus X.
We have enabled that by default. I think those are the only defaults that have changed.
Main menu, please select an option.
So at this point, we're actually going to get logged in and start showing you some stuff in the game.
Logging in. Welcome to Survive the Wild. Message of the game. Welcome to Survive the Wild game server.
Okay, so I've now logged into my account, and I'm just kind of standing here on the mainland.
Watch at 10:28 a.m.
It's currently 10:28 in the morning in the game. I do want to show you real quick before we get into some cool stuff here. Our new responsive Sappy.
Options dialog. Play logo on startup checkbox. Not check Alt plus L. Change TTS settings button Alt plus T. Text to speech configuration dialog. Use screen mirror when available. Checkbox checked.
Not checked. Voice list. Rate slider. Z1, 2, 3. Volume slider. Save settings button Alt plus S. Text to speech settings saved. Change TDS setting. Edits.
Listen to this.
Change game date.
That's me holding in tab while using Microsoft David.
Fill maximum allow listen enable speed enable use change edit alias change audio devices but edit allow change say TDS change TDS settings text to voice list rate slider use screen.
Can't save settings button text to speech settings save options button option saved.
Anyway, I just wanted to show you that really quick. Our Sappy is now really responsive, pretty much no matter what voice you use. I'm now on the gravel path, nearing the small house in the lush and leafy forest.
Options menu list Alt plus O. Test of announcement system posted on 2022/2/22.
And I'm in the announcements menu right now because I want to show you something that happened to the UI. It's a sort of small improvement that happened when we added support tickets, but we decided to do it for every dialogue because of how useful it is. So you know some announcements are pretty long. This particular one is short.
Announcement dialog. Announcement text read only edit multi-line.
So I just clicked on it, and you can see the announcement opened just fine. But unlike before, I'm going to tab 2 times.
Close button. Players list Alt plus P. Sam Toopy.
And you'll see now I'm in the players list.
Close button. Announcement text read only options menu list Alt plus O. Test of
So that announcement dialogue is actually just like a pop-out in the UI. And if I press escape in here, it'll close it.
Alt plus P. Options menu list Alt plus O. Test of announcement system.
And I'll just be right back in the options menu here.
Same keyboard area Alt plus P. You have just opened your tab. Please select the open water bottle. You have an open pop can. You have 22,531.
And another little thing here. I just drew my open pop can.
Your pop can has 0 pop left.
And you can see I have 0 pop left or whatever.
Your pop can has 0 pop left.
If I press the grave key. But we changed this here as well. So if you're in your inventory,
your pop can has 0 pop left. Pop can, you have 50 open edible fish. You have 55,000.
And you go into any item.
Magnum bullets. You have this ammunition does piercing damage.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit.
12-gauge shotgun shell. You have 7. This ammunition does piercing damage. 9mm bullets. You have 5 battery. You have 58,960 are in the tote pack. This weapon does slashing damage.
Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is I'm pressing the grave key in the inventory menu here. So I can just kind of go through different items.
This weapon does piercing damage. Shield. No information is available. Rock gun. 0 1 rocks. Rocks. This ammunition does arrow gun. 0 20 metal arrow loaded. 43,500.
You can see my absurd inventory on this particular beta character. So now we're going to walk over here.
House entrance.
And you can see I can't get in here. If I press M...
Look around menu. Please select an open window above. This one's a little ways off to the right. 19 tiles away. A closed door straight in front. 1 tiles away. Cancel.
So I can't demonstrate the window today yet. We were hoping we could, but we're having a few issues with it. So we'll get to that in a little bit. But I can show you this door. Now, these are going to be in the fishing village, of course, as well. I can just press space on the door.
Open the door. A door leading outside. A small house.
And then I can walk in here. I can
outside.
turn around.
Close the door.
And then I can close it. Now I can't go back out there.
A door leading outside. A small. A door leading outside.
You know, I mean, it's a pretty simple thing.
House entrance.
But
you close the door. You open the door. A door leading outside.
We're actually going to walk back in here for just a second. Okay, I have switched locations really quick. I just want to show you a couple other things real fast. So, it is now possible to mute group chats. I can press Control M. I can mute and unmute that. Obviously, if it's muted, I will only get messages if I am focused actively on that group chat. Now, another thing that's happened here, they're very similar to how they used to be for now, but fires were recoded in RTIG. I can spawn one here real quick. Again, they're very similar to how they used to be. But now, for example, an admin or a world maker can decide to add something like this. So, like, I can just drop a couple of grenades here, run backwards, and they'll actually explode. The important thing here is this. Basically, the world makers can instantly modify any of these objects here. And I just figured I would show you with fires really quick because they're so simple. So these 4 scripts make fires now. There used to be an entire fire.bgt file that was like 5 kilobytes and had to be integrated into the game, and I was the only one who could modify it because I was obviously the only one who could change the BGT code. But now fires themselves, they work right now, they work like old fires did. Soon they probably won't. They're just made with these few scripts. So, like, I'll just show you one of them so you can have an idea. We can actually modify the scripts from within the game now. So that's something that world makers can do. Like I said, instantly just add new objects and items and all sorts of stuff. And this burn script is called every second. That's like what burns all the items around, makes the grenades explode, etc. Probably just doesn't look like much to most of you guys, but just for the people who can kind of understand the significance of what's happening here. So you can see, like, just a few tiny scripts are enough to make fires work exactly as they used to. Oh. So again, that might seem like a slightly odd demonstration, but again, the point is to show those who are able to understand the significance of the script interface now. I just wanted to show kind of what's possible here, and we are about to show a much better example of that in just 1 second. Okay, so now we're in the pine forest, and I'm just going to walk forward here, and I'm running into something. If I press, right now it's M, it will be probably K again later, but if I press
Weapon
M,
menu. P1 find slightly behind the tall tree is straight in front, 0 tiles away.
you can see there's a tall tree
Cancel.
here. We have also recoded trees in Artig, and unlike fires, they are nothing like what they used to be. You can see this tree is multiple tiles wide. I can climb up at any point. And the coolest thing is if I look around. Ah, there. Oh, it's hard to see. This particular one is hard to see. But if we keep looking. Yeah, there's a couple. If you look back here, there are branches on these trees now. You can see that one even goes pretty far back. And there's a couple at each height. Couple random heights don't have any. Hopefully, like, the less laggy we manage to get these map objects, the more branches we can basically spawn. So you can just see I'm like just looking around with the camera all around the tree, and eventually at one of these heights, yep, you can see there's yet another branch. So the thing is when there's a bunch of trees together, you can actually crawl all over these branches to get from tree to tree. So I'm gonna go like a little over here, for example. Oh, well, that's another quick thing I can demo. Oh, I guess my health got low.
392 health. You are currently sitting by default. You are currently sitting by default. R is the key. You press the toggle when you are sitting or standing.
That message now shows if hints are enabled to help new players not just try to walk, but actually just move in place. Just kind of stand up. Where's that tree at? I think I can move it. There it is. So we're going to move a little bit to the side, and I'm going to spawn a new tree really quick. You can see there's another one, and they're pretty close together. So I'll bet that now you can see there's just a small gap between these trees. There's probably at least one branch between these trees that would help us get from one tree to the next. Like you can see all right over there. Look at that. You can see this whole entire forest canopy here. Yep, and there's the other tree going all the way down to the right. You can see this gap here. So that's what to look forward to with trees. We'll have more branches and more spawned trees. Again, the less likely we can get these objects. I guess I already have it. Guess I already had an axe out. As you can tell, this is my second recorded attempt at this part of the demo. So, anyway, we have an axe out. We're going to cut this tree down now. It's going to take just a second because it's a slightly large tree. It's like 15 to 20 tiles tall, and as you can see, it was a couple tiles wide in each direction. Can you hear those extra little sounds? That helps indicate the tree's about to be cut down. And I apologize about that debug message there. It's going to be removed. If we look in the M menu, you can see the other tree. If we go to the bottom, right now this is going to show a bunch of tree branches actually, which is going to be fixed. We're just going to... Yeah, there we go. So, you can see 144 wood, fallen tree. So we're going to go forward a couple tiles here. We still have the axe out. I'm chopping up the fallen tree. And as I'm doing this, little piles of wood are spawning in front of me. And I can pick them up. So this is actually faster than the previous system because now you can collect the woods in multiple piles. Like each wood pile consists of like 5 or 6 wood. You can tell quickly if I look in the menu again. We already have a bunch of this wood gone. You can have people help you cut up one tree. So yeah, I mean I think you basically get the idea. I can just cut this up. And then you just have to pick up the items. Now, this is a good point to mention something else really quick, which we'll demonstrate hopefully in more detail in a little bit. But if I press the grave
This weapon
key,
does slashing damage.
this axe does slashing damage. Now, my punches,
You will work.
they do blunt damage. And you can hear me punching this fallen tree. And barely anything happens. I'll do a little bit of damage here and there over time, maybe. Especially if it's already been partially chopped through. But like you can see, my punches don't actually have that much effect.
You axe 16 damage. Axe.
That's to like use an axe or a sharp blade. And then secure the entire process.
Look at the ball is green with one wood is straight in front. 2 tiles will cancel.
Oh, and we have 1 wood. And you can see now
Look
it's
around
gone.
menu. Please select the item with your arrow. No such item with 3 branches. 3 cancel.
You see all those tree branches, which we're going to hide from the tracking menu. So that's basically what happened with trees. We have a few things to do. For example, we need to get them to properly interact with fires, and we need to make them auto-spawn in various areas instead of the old tree tiles, and a couple things like that. But generally, that is what is going down there. Now, we're just
You
going
will just open
to...
your axe. Scanner. You have 5 berry. You have 13 AC. Health drug. You have health drug.
Take a health drug quick to get rid of this low health from that fall earlier. There we go. Okay, we are now in the rocky, rugged landscape. Just got a couple things to go over here. First, we're going to press 2 for my right hand. And
With 270 degrees.
you can see
With 270 degrees.
the compass has been dramatically sped up. It was
270 degrees.
recoded in Artig.
You put the compass away before getting a good steady look at it.
And in my left hand,
Silver survived the wild medallion.
we have the Silver Survived the Wild medallion. Not an insane amount has changed, but it has gotten some improvements.
Press Alt +9 to activate the special effects of this item when it is applicable.
Nothing new when you wear it, but if you press Alt 9,
The go around the medallion intensifies as it begins to pulse.
there are now sounds. Very easy for world makers to add sounds like this, considering the fact that there are now thousands and thousands on the server that can be streamed to the clients rather than sounds having to exist in pack files. Anyway, as you can tell, as long as the medallion is activated, you can hear a repeating pulsing noise. That way you can just tell that the medallion is currently producing its effect without having to check your stats. That way you don't waste it if you don't want to use it. And speaking of that, if you don't want to... Oh. Well, that was me running out of time on my medallion. You're going to have to hold up for just a minute because I needed to show you something else before I ran out of time, so... We're going to perform some developer magic here. Okay, sorry about that, but hey, you got to hear the sound of the medallion running out of time anyway, so now that that's done, we're going to press Alt 9 here.
The go around the medallion intensifies as it begins to pulse.
And wear the medallion again. Now, what I was intending to show you is if you want to remove the medallion or if you want to stop its effects, you know, without running out of the 5 minutes every 2 weeks,
The go around the medallion dim.
you can just press Alt 9 now, and it acts as a toggle.
Wait 2 seconds. The go around the medallion intensifies as it begins to pulse.
There's a cooldown timer between when you turn it off and turn it on.
The go around the medallion dim. Wait 4 seconds. Wait 4 seconds. Wait 3 seconds. Wait 2 seconds. Wait 2 seconds. Wait 1 second. The go around the medallion intensifies as it begins to pulse.
But then other than that, it works as a toggle. Before you had to remove the clothing item in order to stop the effects, which of course
Select the clothing item. Silver survive the wild medallion on your neck. The medallion stops glowing as you remove it.
still works.
Options menu. 24. List group. Scripting functions. Administration for support and contact. Get.
Alright, so now we gotta look at something in the support and contact menu.
Please use the options here wisely and with common sense. No spam accepted. Find staff members. List all game ranks.
Find staff members. We look in here.
There are a total of 13 staff members, of which one of them are online. Select the rank below to view all players who have a selected rank. Developer with 1 total members, of which 1 are on. Master with 4 total members, of which 0 are online. Members of the game staff who have been entrusted with compiled administration functions beyond the level of the developer. Administrator with 3 total members, of which 0 are online. Can perform most
So all of
administrative
these
functions
ranks
except
at the
for those
top are
allocated
gonna
to the
stay the
server
same.
Worldmaker with 3 total members, of which 0 are online. Builder who has been entrusted to modify official maps or approve unofficial ones.
Technically, that's a scripter as well.
Moderator with 1 total members, of which 0 are online. Command, J or restrict, warn, post public announcements, etc. Scripter with 1 total members, of which 0 are online. Can read and modify all game scripts. Builder with 0 total members, of which 0 are online. Can perform.
And then we don't know if we're gonna show like scripter and builder and a couple other ranks publicly, but all the like the 4 ranks at the top that you saw.
Developer with 1 total members, of which 1 are online. Handle anything having access to the game source code.
And we can go in here.
1 total members of this rank, of which 1 are online and 0 are offline. Sam 2B online.
We can click enter on Sam Tupi.
Options for Sam 2B list. Copy name to clipboard. Control plus C.
And we have the entire, just like if you press enter on a player in the players list,
Watch this player can private message to create a group chat. Speed player
you
status control plus
have
S.
the whole thing.
Show player status control plus shift cancel. There are a total of 13 staff members, of which 1 of them are online. Master with 4 total members, of which 0 are online. Members of the game staff who have been interrupted.
All of the masters are currently
4
offline.
total members in this rank, of which 0 are online. And Amin offline. Dorian off. Mastermind shift. Dorian off. Amin offline.
So we're going to click enter on Amin,
Amin copies the clipboard.
and you can see the difference.
Amin.
It's pressing NVDAC. You can see Amin is now on my clipboard, rather than that menu popping up. We want to thank everybody for filling out the Survive the Wild staff application form that we'd recently published. That form is now closed now, but who knows when we'll reopen it again. As of now, we've already started accepting some of the applications. However, there are many to go through, and we must experiment with how many people we can add on the team at once and the like. And so as a result, there are likely still going to be members of staff being added from these applications even after the release of the next update. Players will see the first round of new staff members for the first time upon the release of public beta, when they can browse this staff members menu on their own. Alright, so at this point, we're now using an alternate character. This is because I want to demonstrate the support ticket system. So, say this alternate character needs help.
Go
down to here. And you can see these are just tests.
Test result created by Sam 2B 1 2022 03 30 14 48 33. Sam result created by Sam 2B 2022 03 30 17 42 11. Test created support ticket. This is how I'll go back.
So you can see all the support tickets that your account, not your character, but your account has recently opened.
Create a support ticket. This is how all contact between players and game staff is facilitated. So do not hesitate to do this if you need a game staff member to help you solve a problem.
I'm going to open up a new one.
Create a support ticket dialog. Enter a short subject describing your issue. For example, account access issue, reporting a player lost a free card, etc. Edit. Blank.
Alright, so we're going to say lost
Enter an opening message that describes your issue in as much detail as possible. Blank.
Hello.
Comma space.
Last night about 9
p.m. Capital T space capital space space E R Y space space O M P L E D space A space Q E S E dot space capital Y space G A N D space C R A S A E D space A N D space cap space L O S space A E space F R E E space C A R space A I space cap space O space D S O N N E T E D dot space capital A space Y O U space E L E N E space E S C O T space E question mark. I understand that this form is for serious inquiries only and that misuse of the support ticket system in any way, including but not limited to spam or misinformation of any kind, could result in severe punishments to my character or account. Checkbox not checked. Checked.
I'm going to check that. And if I click this,
ticket created, you will be alerted if there are any changes or responses to your ticket, and you can also click on the tickets option in the support and contact menu to find and view your tickets.
now that sound you just heard is actually something that admins will hear as well.
Player list plus options menu list plus lost a free card open
And if you look,
Sam's lost a free card open the waiting review created by Sam 2B. Hello, last night about 9 p.m. CST I was trying to complete a quest. My game crashed and I lost a free card while I was disconnected. Can you please restore it? 2022-07092-1301.
you can see when it was last updated. And so now we're going to have this ticket get responded to. Alrighty, so we are now in the arid grassland on my developer character. Just so you can see me do this from an account or from an admin side, just so you can kind of see what they have. So you can see right there we have instant access to the tickets. It doesn't matter whether the admin is online or offline. When the ticket comes in, they can just instantly open up all the tickets. And you can see from the administrator perspective, I can see all the messages that were sent. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, we apologize that this happened to you. We will verify using our logs that this took place, and then we'll gladly restore it. Please stand by. Okay, and now we are back on the other character. So, like, I don't even have to open this thing, really. If I really want, I can open it and... You can export the tickets to the clipboard. You can see the subject. Thank you very much. Just to the chatting. And then on my dev character, and now in the thin grassy forest, you can look at this ticket again. And you can see that from the admin side. What I should have done earlier is I should have set the state to this. And that sound just simply indicates that the state was changed. So, you know, like if I go look at the ticket dialogue now. It just looks like that. And now on this end here, I can, if I set the state to resolved, I can be like, okay, your death card was restored. And then I can set the state to resolved. And if we look at the ticket finally on the other character, we have to make it refresh the menu if you're already in it, so I had to go out and back in for now. So again, you can already see the last message as a player trying to check the status of the ticket. You will also get notified if an admin responds to your ticket while you're not focused on it. But yeah, you can go in here, you can permanently see the history. And then yeah, we can export the ticket to the clipboard. Yeah, you get the idea. It'll show all the messages, one on each line. So I think that kind of should generally demonstrate admins have instant access and permanent access to all tickets. And so they will be able to be responded to much more instantly. Whereas before, if all admins were offline when somebody sent an admin tell, likely that admin tell would just be missed. So this resolves that, obviously, plus the find staff members section. I was also going to demonstrate the help menu that we're adding, but I didn't get it quite working yet in time for this demo. So hopefully that will just be another thing in the changelog for the update. So I have saved the best for last. There is about one more major thing to show you. We are on the southeast of the island mainland. We're going to execute this script. I'm going to try to follow these. What you're hearing right now is a bunch of coyotes and wolves fighting each other. We're gonna press Shift A. You can see this wolf. I'm gonna press the number keys. Oh, this one got out of range. Oh, wait. Hold on, I have to reopen the menu and find this close one. You can see we have all this info. I can track the wolf. Now, you know, I can obviously just... I keep tracking ones that are very far away, apparently. So we're going to track another one. Clearly, the tracking menu is showing animals farther away than their... Yeah, so you can see, there it is. And I can press Shift and the numbers.
66% wandering around. Very hungry. Not thirsty. 20% resistant to 1 damage. 5% vulnerable to slashing damage. 10% vulnerable to piercing damage. No description.
And you can see, you can track NPCs now and see what they're doing, get their stats, etc.
The wolf is
So
placed on
that
35
is
away.
pretty cool.
Tracking.
Now there's
Option
another
wolf for
thing.
150 STW points. Wanting the group outward of 100 yards. Decide to kill 10 wolves in just 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's in the quest menu, and I'm gonna press enter to accept
You have
this.
accepted the wolf hunt quest. Your 30 minutes. You have accepted unlocked quest.
Oh, my 30 minutes starts
accepted.
now. Sorry, I didn't let it
And
finish.
switch to another rank. Check status on the wolf hunt quest.
And in the main
Check
menu,
status on the wolf hunt quest.
you can see there's now check status of the wolf hunt quest.
So far, you killed 0 wolves in 0 minutes, 10 seconds. Game
Alright,
plus T.
sounds good. So we're gonna change that now.
Enter slash.
Okay. There's a whole bunch of wolves that are also dangerously hungry. We're gonna get the spear out. We're gonna start killing a few wolves here. Oh, got one. Now that sound you're hearing, that's actually the low health noise. So this is what replaces that terrible, awful chime that everybody hated. You can just hear me killing these wolves. Obviously, usually it will be a lot more difficult to kill these things that quickly.
Welcome to Survival Race. Bring your total of killed wolves to 6 of 10. Options menu list. So far, you killed 6 wolves in 1 minute, 46 seconds. Game keyboard area.
Go over here to this one. Come here. 7 of 10.
There are no animals.
I think we might need new
There are no animals
wolves.
worth moving around you.
Hold on 1 sec. Okay, there we go. Here come more wolves. Come over here. Just want to show you what happens when we complete this quest. And then I'm going to show you a couple more individual things. We're going to spawn one animal and make it alternately hungry and thirsty so that you can see what animal feeding is like. Come here. Come here. Pretty sure we got 2 after me now.
Wait, bring your total of killed wolves.
And you can see I have now completed.
Congratulations, you completed the wolf hunt quest. Because of this, you are well done. You killed 10 wolves in 2 minutes, 56 seconds. Congratulations, you completed the wolf hunt quest. Because of this, you earned 150 STW points. Good work.
And again, just to show you really
Options menu
quick.
list. Quest accepted map allow results to be added to a few recent changes. Display all new recent and view rules. Display support and contact administration. Restricted area.
Oh yeah, there's now a view rules option in the
Browse
menu.
Scripting function. List scripts.
If we go
Quest
here,
keys are scripts for managing quest.
this wolf hunt quest,
0 folders. 2 scripts. Read me 409 wolf hunt 1.63 KB.
it's all in Artig. So again, admins, world makers, everyone can just add quests of that level of complexity or more, and this is nothing but a puny, tiny little example of what can be done with this quest system now. They can be timed, they can have any condition required.
/quest/wolf hunt dialog. If $script extra data equals accept.
Like this is just what happens in the code when the quest is
$player.wolf hunt
accepted.
equals 0. $player.wolf hunt time equals $server.time.
We take note of the current time, and we add the option to the main menu.
Your 30 minutes starts now. LC $script extra data equals complete.
And then if you complete the quest,
Remove menu option name wolf hunt.
want to remove the menu option, reset the variables,
$T equals $T% 60.
calculate the time in minutes and seconds.
You killed 10 wolves in $minutes, $T seconds. LC $script extra data equals update.
This is what happens if you kill
If
one
$player.wolf
wolf.
hunt time less 1. Player.remove menu option name wolf hunt. Return. End of. $T equals $server.time. $player.wolf hunt time. If $T greater 1800.
But yeah, like you get the idea. It's just a bunch of code that can be instantly modified
Rename /quest/wolf hunt note plus code button.
in the game. Alright, so we're on the mainland now again we're on over to the pond now. And I've spawned a wolf right here.
The wolf is a little ways off to the right, 3 tiles away.
And you're actually going to get to hear me type this command, just so you can kind of see, again, just how expansive this all is. So I have the ID of this wolf on my clipboard. And what I'm going to do is $text pasted .thirst equals 600. Yeah, that's fine. And if we look in the...
Thunder. Quite thirsty.
Quite
Cancel.
thirsty. And in just a minute, you're gonna see it drinking from the pond over there. Now, in the meantime, we're gonna drop some. I'm gonna drop like an edible fish and drop that meat there. You can see it's still drinking. We're gonna execute a similar command. Gonna give it 400 hunger. You're gonna see it's just gonna wander a little bit right now, but in a little bit, because we made it hungry, with any luck here. Now, we have to, this thing might go find another food item. Huh? It's coming back around.
The wolf is slightly behind and far off to the left. 13.
And if we just wait 1 sec here. You just saw it literally eat that food item. And now in a little while, if it's still hungry, it'll come back and eat this other one, etc. Unless it finds like a corpse to eat or another item somewhere else. Oh, yep, I think it decided it wants more. You can go off to the side here just so you can hear this clear. Oh no, it's just wandering, I guess.
Edible fish. You have 55,678. Empty energy plug. You have empty balloon. You have 86 edible berries. You have... You edible fish. You have 55,000. Empty wallet. You have expensive added energy boost. You elastic sling. Edible meal. Edible bear. Empty beer. Edible fish. Empty water energy plug. You empty balloon. You edible berries. You have...
I don't know what ones it all eats. I don't really remember. And again, just like all these animals, we can just track this thing.
Fully energized. Wandering around. Somewhat hungry. Not thirsty. 30% resistant to blink damage. 5% vulnerable to slashing damage. 10% vulnerable to piercing damage.
And so what that means is, you know, like so...
This object is too far. This object is too far.
Oh. Go
This object
closer.
is too far.
Oh, wow.
You are currently sitting. By default, R is the key. Not thirsty. 30% resistant to blink damage. 5% vulnerable to slashing damage. 10% vulnerable to piercing damage.
Right, so a spear is one of the best ways to kill a wolf. As you can see, it's 10% vulnerable to slashing, or to piercing damage. So like, spear, anything from a spear to a bullet. Oh! Just went over there and ate that food item. But yeah, you can now see clearly how advanced NPCs are.
This object is...
We probably have to work on the tracking distances. There's still several things we need to work on.
This object is too far.
You can hear the wolf, but it's still too far to get any info on it. But yeah, like you can see, if it gets thirsty, it'll go find water and drink. And if it gets hungry, it'll search for anything from corpses on the ground to players. So yeah, we also... Hold on 1 second.
The rabbit is straight in front, 0 tiles away.
We also have rabbits coded. By, the way these work now is if you, gotta kill them in one hit, kind of. Because if you don't, they'll panic and run off. And they'll automatically eat grass, otherwise they'll drink just like normal, so... And again, just to show you how simple one animal is now, gonna go into NPC.
Slash NPC 9 folder metabrain contains minibrain contains common logic for all basic NPCs such as animals contains no logic for having conversations advanced item user or any other human behavior. Instead, this contains common functions for surviving based on the surroundings such as directly drinking from water sources or in an item directly after it is picked up. Also contains basic logic for following, attacking, and running from players.
So this folder here, this code folder contains all of this stuff. Oh, that NPC just went and picked up that fish. Well, like, yeah, you can see all of the different logic for most NPCs, and what that means is, say for wolf, or even rabbit, let's go into wolf quick. Oh, oops, don't want to do that. A wolf is made up of 4 little scripts. That's a wolf! Right there!
Rabbit, mini brain test, rabbit. NPC rabbit 0 folder, 8 scripts, after death, 400 damage, 300 death, 300 find food, 6 noise, 100 update, 300 400 time change, 500.
That's a rabbit right there. It's a little bit more complicated because it has logic to like run away when it gets like hit. And it like has its own find food script because instead of searching for items, we want it to eat from the grass and stuff. So, I mean, you can kind of see how easy it is. And admins and world makers can literally just add objects to this game. NPCs, like a completely new NPC type. I'm not going to do it in this demo, but just to prove this, for the more programmer-oriented listeners of this recording, I don't know exactly when, but somewhat soon here, I will record a demo of me coding an animal type. Just so you can literally see for sure that we can literally go from having no reference to that animal type in the game to suddenly having like a completed version of that animal in like 20-30 minutes. And again, just remember that we have all the stuff coming back from last October as well. We have this old... Yep, we got that map here. All the maps are joined. The new underwater system is a thing. Can't forget that. The radar. And many other random things. There are some more things that we've done, but they aren't ready to be demoed yet. Generally, I think this covers most of what we're able to demo right now. We are very excited to get this released to everybody and to have world makers creating new content and even NPCs while I can fix bugs and various things like that. One question I can foresee right now is about the cooking scripts. We still are working on those. Probably they're going to involve dropping the item you want to cook on the ground, like that you want to cut and skin on the ground. Kind of like what the fallen tree looked like. But we'll have to see. That one's still a little bit out there right now. So, I believe that is most of what I have to show you. We have everything from timed quests to new NPCs to redone trees to UI pop-outs. Many things to look forward to in this update. One of the most important, of course, being the improvements to the administration system. This should hopefully make it so that everybody can get their questions answered and get their problems solved, as well as make it so that there are other people who can do that concurrently while the world makers build content. Previously in the past, if an admin was solving a case with a player, they weren't making new content for the game. So that is going to be solved now. Well, everybody, I think that's pretty much all I have for you right now. I don't know if we're going to be posting anything else before this update comes out, but you will be hearing announcements as the beta server gets closer and closer and as we become more ready for this release. Thank you all for listening. I hope everybody is very excited for the upcoming update. I know that we are. There is a lot of things to look forward to. So, and everybody, thank you for listening. Have a great day, and we will see you in public beta.